Sure, it feels like we have seen this all before, but somehow in this muddy, mundane, magic shines on through. The world that now I see is not the world that's coming straight at me. Takes a holy act of equanimity to keep my cool. Got no time for sleeping when it sees you sleeping, then the world goes changing. Make your time for weeping when it sees you sleeping, then the world goes changing. If change it is, I hope I'm changing too. It takes a certain fortitude to live a life of faith, unchained from certitude. With all the noise we make, mistakes are coming too, but time just ain't worth wasting. Got no time for sleeping when it sees you sleeping, then the world goes changing. Make your time for weeping when it sees you sleeping, then the world goes changing. If change it is, I hope I'm changing too. Change it is, I hope I'm changing too.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another. It's been a long time. We are back for another live from the backyard. This one's extra special for us. Is it?
It is extra special because we are here in this beautiful cabin called the Moonlight Cabin, which Abner and I purchased a couple months ago, and we're super, super stoked about. We've been coming up here to Arrowhead
Don't
for...
forget, they can't hear you.
Yes,
the microphone.
that's true. That's what microphones are for, and I'm a professional. We've been coming up here for the past couple years, like all through the pandemic, and we were dreaming and dreaming, like one day maybe we'll have a cabin up here, and here we are. It's the most peaceful place in the world, and so we're really, really stoked. We're going to play some mountain songs tonight, y'all.
Any songs we play tonight are mountain songs because we're playing them in the mountains.
That's true. This also is a very special night for us because we have two guests tonight that are maybe two of our favorite people. Jonathan Berlin. No, we are excited to have Jonathan and Amy.
Jonathan, wait for the people.
And Darren
Hey, look at the
Lau.
war room, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the war room.
Yeah. Is Darren Lau in there?
No, Darren, get in
you
there.
gotta move
Darren Lau,
over.
Dare
There he
Bear.
is. These
Dare
are
Bears,
very
Derriere.
special guests. But we have Drew Holcomb and Andrew Zimmern with us tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Via Zoom, which we are very, very stoked about.
Babe, I
because,
like our matching vibes right now. Is this not planned?
This is mountain, baby.
Mountain living.
You were looking like a train conductor earlier, and I like that because you were like, all aboard, and I was like, I can get
All
down.
aboard! All aboard! I feel like it's very, what's the accent, Amy? The made-up accent for movies? Transatlantic. All aboard! It's like just a nice fake accent that everybody can
Do
have.
I now have a fantasy about a train conductor? Maybe.
Maybe I can get that outfit back on, baby. We have not played this song in its entirety in a long time. And we're going to give it a try tonight.
It's a free show, as we always say.
By the way, this jacket's already sold out, so I'm sorry.
Also,
but there
Abner.
are,
Abner. I moved your water bottle because I didn't want to be able to see it in the back shot, and you moved it back.
cut to 3 Ames real quick.
He moved it.
I put it there. All right, sorry. You can put it wherever you want, my love.
Now everybody's seen it. It's a water bottle. We drink water.
You had it in a good spot before.
I did. Thank you for noticing.
Sorry. All right. Here we go. It's a free show. We're very grateful for all of you that supported buying merch today. We are sold out of these jackets. We have a few left of the Dickies jacket that's up there and a couple more bowling shirts. And when those are sold out, we'll be announcing. It might not be today, but as soon as they're sold out, we'll announce a winner for 2 free nights here at the Moonlight Cabin.
Yay!
I'm holding on, God knows I can't make you stay. This highway's long. You ain't going my way. No. Alone in the dark, wondering where you are. With this heart that's yours, it's yours, it's yours to break. And now I face another lonely night in Georgia. Lonely night.
I drove all night. The sun's rising here in Memphis. But was I right? Or just being a little reckless? Alone in the dark, wondering where you are. With this heart that's yours to break. And now I face another lonely night in Georgia.
Lonely night. Say what's that sound? Could've sworn I heard you calling my name.
I turned around, yeah. I couldn't wait until the morning. I couldn't wait for you, baby. I can't wait till the morning. Hey, oh, you'll be back by the morning.
Yes, you will.
Oh, I can't wait till the morning. Oh, you'll be back by the morning. Oh, I can't wait till the morning. Oh, you'll be back by the morning.
Woo! Come on, let's go.
Oh, I can't wait till the morning. Wait till the morning. Ooh, you'll be back by the morning.
I can't wait till the morning. Oh, you'll be back by the morning. Oh, I can't wait till the morning. Ooh, you'll be back by the morning. Alone in the dark, wondering where you are. With this heart that's yours, that's yours, that's yours to break. And now I face another lonely night in Georgia. Hope you're having a good time. I can't hear you shout back, but here we are. I'm gonna check the chats real quick.
Yes, he's gonna check his chats.
I'm checking the chats.
So, in case you live under a rock, there's a meme going around about a spagliato, a Negroni with Prosecco in it. And we ordered one as a joke the other night at a restaurant, just to kind of troll the waiter and to see how many people have been doing it. And he was like, actually, no one. And we're like, all right, fine, we'll take it. And we were like, wait, are these things delicious? So the first gin and tonic of the night is actually the first spagliato.
Wait, I can't watch the live stream
Stunning.
from my own account? Like, I can't watch the live stream from Johnnyswim account? Yo.
Guess we're going to have to keep
I'm-
singing
okay,
songs.
Checking in as Abner Pedro.
Oh, he's checking in. Joining the chats tonight is Abner Pedro Ramirez.
Hi, chats.
Clap, clap, clap in the chats.
Clap, clap, clap in the chats. Turn to your neighbor and say, hello, chats. Hello, chat neighbors.
Yes,
Not yet, Amanda. Don't get
I
excited too much yet.
know,
Let's
I
play one more song.
know.
We're going to play one more song, and we'll move on to one of my favorite parts of the evening. I'm telling you, I'm really excited about this next part, but here we go. You ready, babe?
Yep. I'm a diamond in the rough and wild.
You're a heart that's just too wild and free.
I was looking for a hand to hold me.
You're just looking for a chance to bring me to my knees.
Well, some may say you're mad to chase a heart locked away on its own, so listen to me. There ain't no thing in this world that you like to be less than a wounded soul like me. That's what you'll get falling for me.
I'm a mountain, only you can move me.
All my stones are shaping by your street. But I'm just a girl, ain't never been a savior.
I'm just a man here waiting for the one I hope you'd be. But some may say you're mad to chase a heart locked away on its own, but listen to me. There ain't no thing in this world that you'd like to be less than a wounded soul like me. That's what you get falling for me. Get out of my heart, get out of my mind, get out of my dreams, get out of my sight. You might have known doubt, you might have known fear, you might have known love, but you never knew me. Get out of my heart, get out of my mind, get out of my dreams, get out of my sight. You might have known doubt, you might have known fear, you might have known love, but you never knew me, no, you never knew me, you never knew me. You might have known love, but you don't know me. And some may say you're mad to chase a heart locked away on its own, but listen to me.
There ain't no thing in this world that you like to be less than a wounded soul like me. That's what you get
Falling for me. Oh my goodness, I wish everybody was here in person, not gonna lie. I do miss the chats, but I'm not in the chats. We don't have Justine here today. She's working. She's got a real job. So we're really excited to share a couple things with you. One, we're gonna cut to a little pre-cut thing while we reset up here to introduce you to a friend of ours. But as we do that, I wanna let you know we have a brand new TV show coming out tomorrow. Yeah, crowd goes wild. Clap, clap, clap in the chats.
What the heck?
Tomorrow.
That's so weird.
We have a cooking show. If you're friends with us in real life or even over the internet, then you know this. Real life happens for us in the kitchen. That's just a fact. My lovely lady here, mostly, and me a little, will always feed you if you're hungry. And even if you're not, we will still
feed you.
feed you. Anything you want to say about it when we cut to the little
No, I'm
video?
super stoked. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome to our kitchen. We're so excited to have you here.
We are gonna make some food together today. Pollo asado. Did I say that right?
Yeah, pollo asada. Amanda and I spend the vast majority of the year on tour.
So we started implementing special dinner nights.
If for no other reason than to help us keep track of what day it is. Friday, pizza night.
Oh yeah, that's good. This is like the perfect episode to show our personalities. He's measuring everything,
I'm going for 7 inches this way, 10 inches this way.
and I'm like, it's probably fine. I'm gonna put about that much.
Wow. I don't think there's room for this in the fridge. I'm gonna figure it out, but this is real life.
Do not show a close-up of our fridge.
Today's menu, we call the showstopper meal.
This is not for TV. This is our bag of flour. Look at that.
We did it.
You know, I like you. I'd cook with you more.
I'd cook with you more too. Should we do this some more?
No, you guys want to join?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the great honor and privilege to have a friend of ours. Look how small our friends are. They can fit on this little laptop in front of us. We have today with us on Live from the Backyard here in the Moonlight Cabin, 4-time, I didn't know this, 4-time, I know you probably hear this every time somebody says your name. 4 times this man's won a James Beard Award. He is, I will say, the king of eating on television. No one eats like this man. No one cooks like this man. Also, he has a PhD, and you only know this if you know him. He has a everything cool? What's wrong? Don't see Zoom. I got you. It's there. It's back.
It's there now.
He has a PhD in making up stories on the fly that will just make your head spin. That's a fact. Executive chef, restaurateur, food critic, author, TV producer, a lovely dinner companion, philanthropist, volunteer, weird food pioneer, and a personal hero of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew Zimmern. We got him here.
We are so thrilled to have you.
Oh,
I am so thrilled to be with you guys.
We
How
really
are
are.
you?
We're doing so well.
We're doing good. We're like,
I didn't know that I too could rent the house that you're in right
yes,
Absolutely
but
can.
now. Until earlier this week. You sort of downplay it. What a beautiful place.
it
Thank you
is.
very
Well,
much.
anytime you want to come out.
Also,
and stay.
are you wearing? I saw on the Instagram stories
Yes.
earlier
On the internets.
this week the very like look at me DIY silk screening my
Yes.
jackets
That's
thing.
exactly
Abner, are
right.
you
Give
wearing
him a
one?
shot.
Yes.
I'm
It's a
absolutely
good-
wearing it.
Look at that.
The merch is great. You guys
Thank you.
sound great.
Thank you.
I was perseverating on one of the lines
What?
that I
What is
thought
that
I
word?
What?
heard.
I'm gonna look that up.
Hold on.
Perseverating.
This is why I love you. I love talking to you because I get smarter
It's
every
an
time.
education.
No, because I was hyper focusing
Okay.
Perseverating.
on something that you one of the lyrics that you sang,
Yeah.
which was I'm the man waiting to become the one I want to be.
There we go.
Did I get that roughly
Something like that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
correct? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, that's basically what I'm doing with my life.
Let's go.
That
Isn't it- I was gonna
describes-
say, isn't that all of us?
that if you well, here's the thing. I think it is, but I think there is a strength and power that comes with actually realizing it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the younger me like thought he had it all figured out
Right.
like 35 years ago and knew everything.
Right.
Ooh,
And the older you get, the more mystery and wonder comes in, and you go, I really don't know it. I don't know that much.
yeah.
And there's like
And
a freedom that comes
a lot
in
of
not
freedom
knowing.
yeah. A lot
Exactly.
of freedom
Which
and power.
brings
A
me
lot
to,
of freedom and
well,
power.
no, I'm going to end with that question, or can I start with
Yes.
that question?
No.
I'll end with
I
it.
don't know. I just want to talk, man. We have questions written down. We asked the fans. We gave them
Sure.
the opportunity to ask you questions. So we had people respond in an Instagram story questions that they can ask you. I don't know that I want to get those right away. I just am always, what's the word? I'm always pleased to be with you. Just pleased. I think about
That's
I added
sweet
in,
of you to say.
No, truly, and I mean that, and I think it's easy to say. Oh, it's always great to be around you, as a way to just get past what you're saying into the next thing. But I think one of my favorite things about you is what a pleasure you are to be around.
Yes.
Just always, whether we're working early morning TV shows together, we're doing the run around in New York, or we're sitting down and having dinner, or we're literally walking the streets of Waco together on a cold morning, which we've done. It's just a pleasure to be
that
around
is
you, man.
correct.
I think
Likewise, I love you guys.
one thing that I think most people don't know, because most people know you from Bizarre Foods, I would say, probably,
Yes.
and now Family Dinner on Magnolia Network. But you have a long history in journalism, and this is, food is like one aspect of like who you are. And being with you, I feel like you get this and also I feel like in a past life you were a rabbi, or like you were
100%.
You were something in a past life. But being with you, I just want to follow you like a little bunny rabbit. And just tell me things. Just tell me whatever, because you're obviously prolific with your words. I always learn new words when I'm with you.
What's the word he just taught us? Perforating?
I don't know
Perseverate.
anymore.
Perseverating. So we're perseverating
You-
in your presence. I don't know if that's a real thing, but if I say it enough, people will believe it. We're focusing deeply on being around you. All right.
Do you want to?
Go ahead. No, I do want to know.
Your wife brought up a very interesting point. I've always been bored by the idea of doing just one thing, and people say, well, are you a chef? Yes.
Yes.
Are you a writer?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you a TV host?
And
Yes.
you flattered me by calling me a journalist, although after doing the award-winning MSNBC series What's Eating America, and really sort of diving in heavy duty into what I would call serious
Journalism.
television journalism and storytelling, I'm okay with that feeling. Then somebody reminded me I've been writing for magazines
Exactly.
for 20-something
Right.
years,
Exactly.
and I don't know, how do I do all this stuff? And I think it's a combination of two things. I'm not sure either one is healthy. One, having missed all of the 1980s, I feel like
Amy
I
has
feel like
too.
I'm
Amy missed all the 80s.
making up for lost time once I got sober, and I mean, look, at least I realize it, and I'm working on it. I sometimes overwork as a method of avoiding head on the things in life that I'd rather not confront.
Sure.
Same.
And so do I do it yet less and less? Sure. Is it nice that I'm aware of it? Sure. But that allows you to accomplish a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's just stuff. You talked about that early morning walk in Waco. I remember that conversation. It was just early morning. It was 15 minutes walking from our hotel to work. But sometimes you just have really good conversations with people. And ever since we first met, I think we knew that we were tight sort of right
100.
away, because we just felt comfy with each other. And it's delightful to see you. So I was thrilled to join you guys when you were doing this. And I love your music. And I'm tethered to I have cords and headphones, or I would take you downstairs into the guitar. I'm finally set up in the new house.
Let's
Wait,
go.
So you play music
should we
too?
try to
And
see?
how did they not make a TV
Try
show
to
about
see if
this?
it works. Should we try to see
Yeah,
if it
let's
works?
go.
I'm going to head downtown
Absolutely.
because
I love that.
what's the worst thing that could happen?
Exactly.
Is that
We'll
it
play
doesn't.
another song and then we'll invite you back if you.
No,
get
because
cut
I've
off.
got pretty strong internet. Here
Nice.
I'm walking down the stairs
Yes.
from one flight in my house
It's a
to
little
another.
bit Blair Witch, but it's October, so I'm with it.
No, that's fine. And I'm turning up the lights, and then
You've got the background filter on, so we won't be able
I
to
have.
see.
Yeah, no. I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to deal with
He's a
that.
Get
professional.
there.
Have we learned nothing?
Okay, so I have this giant 19th century map of my favorite continent,
Wow.
Africa, that I love.
That's gorgeous.
But this is
the
going to be,
guitars.
it's a round,
Let's go see it.
Wow.
Let's
it's a round room, but I have some of my books. And so, I have two
that's so
tellies,
dope, two
a
tellies.
71 and a 70,
Oh, Lord.
which are there.
Yes.
My gold top is there, and my ES 335 is there.
Beautiful.
And then there's the stack of the ones that are still waiting.
They're good
to
guitars.
go up.
I don't even have to see those guitars. Just seeing the cases they come in, I would know they're amazing guitars.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. No more guitars, no more discs for disc golf.
Yeah.
Out in the garage, and we're not going out into the garage,
Okay,
but
well,
I
here's a
don't
question.
need to buy
How many
another
discs
disc.
are in your quiver for just a daily game of disc golf?
Hold on, you have to
20.
explain that. Like, how you compete in disc golf. This is
Yeah,
not like
well,
a.
He's a champion of the disc golf movement.
This is
I'll
not like
say.
a passing habit that you're like, I was bored. It's not like me with like crochet.
I've been playing for like almost 30 years. I love it. It's fantastic. You're out in nature. It's a yoga for me. When I'm doing it, I'm not focused on anything else. It's like cooking.
Right.
I will cook all day long on set from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. and come home and make dinner for the family, and or invite friends over. Like, what were you doing? And I was like, I was cooking all day. They're like, how can you be cooking dinner? And as you talked about feeding people in your home, it's my yoga. I want to cook. It makes me feel better. I'm focused only on the work at hand, and it's the same thing when I'm playing disc golf. So
and when you're done, which I think is also a nice part about both cooking and that you can leave it.
It is true.
Unlike journalism or anything else where you're writing, you're constantly in your head until it's done.
Or
and
making TV.
Or making TV.
Right.
Okay, so I have a question because I asked you a couple questions on that walk in Waco about your travels and the bizarre foods you've eaten. Like, I'm pretty sure you won't eat oatmeal, but you've eaten like.
I will not eat oatmeal.
Butthole horse parts.
I have. Oh, shush.
See, even there,
I don't mean sexually. I mean like as a culinary practice.
Yes. First of all,
and you would choose that over oatmeal.
In several countries, it's called bohunka, which is the more polite way to refer to it.
I want you to call my rear end that for now.
Baby, give me that bohunka. So you will eat bohunka, but oatmeal's off the table.
1,000%. And here's why. I was in a market in a rural part of Kazakhstan about 7 or 8 years ago, and there were two types of animals that they were slaughtering that day, and they had them laid out literally from nose to tail. And the fellow who was taking me there said, "Come here. Here is the anus and all of the last, I guess, 3 feet of the intestine, and it's washed out, and they make this sausage with it, and then they smoke it and dry it. And here's one that's 3 months old, and we're going to slice it and eat it." And everyone fights over the end. And I said,
the flavor or the chewiness?
Because the muscle is bigger. It's like a big lifesaver.
So I think this. People always want to eat the pork snout because the pig is always digging with his nose to find the flavor, and so the most flavorful parts of the snout. And so everything that whatever animal has eaten is coming out the back. So it's all the flavors are congealed.
No, I want you to think about this biologically. The reason the snoot of a pig is so great is if you take away the skin, it's had to move its nose around to root around. So it's like bacon. It's a big piece of fat streaked with muscle, so the nose can move in 1,000 directions. Back there, it's a round muscle with 1,000 different intertwined strands of protein. So once it is cooked properly, it is absolutely melt in the mouth, fantastic. It has to be cleaned well.
Yeah, for sure.
I would hope so.
Let's just assume that.
But it is Gen Zers that would digress.
It is so good. Oatmeal, on the other hand, is like Oliver Twist. Please,
more porridge.
Some more.
I mean,
this
oatmeal.
is what they fed children in the poorest of foster homes in 18th century
This is
England.
where I disagree with you, Chef.
I agree, but what lie is he told?
No, I love oatmeal.
They
oatmeal
are
done
good.
right is so good.
Well, then you're going to have to make it for me
I
because
will.
It's great in a one of my favorite cookies, oatmeal raisin, hands down.
Okay, great.
As long as it's not too sweet. But it's just the porridge, like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
and
it
the
is
whole the overnight oats movement.
Yeah. I've
Hello,
succumbed
people.
to that.
Like, eat some granola.
Right.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
else.
Delicious.
Okay, so another question I have, because part of our conversation also was you saying that air fryers are basically a hoax. Air fryers are just convection ovens, real hot. I have not bought an air fryer
Tabletop convection ovens. It's just a heating element and a blow dryer.
And a blow dryer, and that's it.
I don't think people would be as stoked to buy them if they saw them that way.
They wouldn't, but someone much smarter than us boxed it up in a fun thing, got a couple
Jack
of...
Donaghy.
See, here I am, I'm getting in trouble with my own community.
Yeah.
They got some celebrity chefs that wanted a check more than their
and can you blame them?
Listen, this is America.
No, I can't. Do you want to say? Here's the thing, though. I can and I can't because the one day the late Anthony Bourdain and I were having dinner and we were talking about television, and we were both working at Travel Channel at the time, and we would steal away to have these dinners together, sometimes in foreign cities and places. And I mentioned the I word, integrity, and he grabbed me by my lapel and he said, the minute we all cashed that check, we lost our integrity.
Wow.
And I got what he meant.
Right.
However, I believe you can still maintain your integrity and take a check. It just depends who's writing it and for how much and for what.
Right, yeah.
There's something about the air fryer thing.
Yeah.
He
and
hates air
watching
fryers
people-
and oatmeal, everybody.
I never thought talking about air fryers would lead to a great conversation with Anthony Bourdain, but here we are, and I love this.
Wait, so what is something in your kitchen that's like an appliance that you're like, this is underrated?
What's
Everybody
or
should
maybe
have
It could
this.
even be a gadget. Is there a gadget that is underrated that maybe hasn't been marketed correctly yet that people would have if they had it approached to them the right way, shown to them the right way?
Oh, he's taking us to the kitchen. I love this. Let's see.
Okay, so it's a little I was roasting chickens and
Yeah, you
love
were.
have
that.
things put away,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
drying
were.
the last peppers of the year from the garden
So
to put away
beautiful.
so I
We got a
can,
new
I can
dog,
make
so
stuff.
our garden needs nothing
But
anymore.
right here are the
Mortar and
most
pestle.
underrated
Huh.
tools in the kitchens, and I have 3 of them out. These are presses for making antique pasta molds
Yeah.
and stuff, because Abner, like you, when I'm making sheets of noodles by hand, I like to do corsetti, which are shaped and patterned,
Yes.
and do rags of pasta with
Just like me.
stuff on them.
Pasta are my favorite.
Well,
That's my
yeah, you've got a
favorite
big cooking show on now.
I know.
I'm about to give you everything that I know about food. I learned. It was nice of you to give Amanda the nod.
Yeah.
Everything I learned about food, I learned from you.
Look at that. He's
And
an
I
actor
thank
too.
you.
No,
He's an actor.
I
He's not
thank you
acting.
for it.
He's having
No.
a moment of honesty. Let the man be honest.
But the mortar and
Amanda,
pestle.
Okay.
Amy,
Yeah.
put that on my tombstone. Everything Andrew Zimmern learned about food, he learned from Abner. He eats
Here's-
horse ass. He eats.
I want your audience to know I'm an honest guy, right? So I have my mortars
Yeah.
and pestle that makes I have 3, and I use them all the time. So it makes me feel like Mr. Throwback, everything hecho a mano, made by hand.
Right.
The H is
What
silent,
an
I'm with you.
old soul. He's got 300-year-old grandfather wisdom about
Right.
food. He's not Mr. Gadget, but I have the 8 mil, the Ferrari of steam ovens
Oh,
in
I've
my
never used
in
a
my
steam
stack.
oven.
I
want a steam oven so
So
bad.
I go both.
Yeah.
Both ways. I go both ways. I'm being totally.
Steam oven other than
100%
bread. I only know
honestly.
steam ovens for bread. Is there something?
Oh
that like,
no! Oh my God! No, because here's the thing. I can proof in there at
Right.
as low as 80 degrees. Well, I can go lower. I can go 0 to 600 degrees in there, but I can do it with 20%. I can go by 10% percentages of steam in there. So I can proof, I can then steam, and then I can turn it on convect bake without
wow.
ever opening the door.
So that's what we
it
all
also does sous vide. It does all. It is
Sous vide's my favorite.
It does safe defrost. It saves a lot of money. I wish
It does.
more Americans would understand, especially now that food prices are
Right.
soaring. I can't even. I went shopping yesterday at the supermarket. Once a week I go to the supermarket like any other
Right.
doofus. And I was just stunned. I was absolutely stunned. And I think a lot of people think that a sous vide, an immersion circulator, is some fancy thing that's going to cost more
Right.
money. It will
It saves you
within
money.
3 months you will save everything. You are able to cook, portion,
Right.
quickly chill, preserve, freeze,
Right.
and hold on to everything. If you have an immersion circulator and one of those $100 seal meal machines that you
Wow.
can get on Amazon
Yeah.
for like nothing.
I
Yeah.
love my
It's-
sous vide.
It's an amazing. Me too.
We once sous vide a whole pig. We had to take 3 sous vides.
We borrowed all of
3
our neighbors'
machines.
sous vides.
And the whole neighborhood came over because they were like, word spread within the morning that we were doing an entire pig in this massive cooler. We had ping pong balls to try to preserve the burn off, like the steam, not steam.
The heat, yeah.
Just keep the heat in from the
The
water.
heat,
We cooked
yeah.
it all day. Darren, who's running cameras today, he was with us. It was. Yeah,
So was that some kind of like neighborhood matanza where everyone is cooking pig,
No,
or you just said
it was a Game
we
of
need
Thrones
to cook whole
night.
pig?
It was a Game of Thrones
And
party.
we wanted to make Game of
And
Thrones.
it was the finale. It was the Game of Thrones finale, and we wanted
Yep.
that moment because we then roasted it on a spit. So we cooked it, but then we
Sure.
crisped it on a spit.
Leading up to it, we had
Smart.
made like these like bone marrow pies and like beef Wellington, like things that seemed like
Meaty and bready
meaty
together,
and
a lot of
bready
blood in your
and
hands when you're eating
meat.
it. Like it feels like Game of Thrones.
Very
vibes.
steampunk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Literally
like
all came very steampunk. It all came down. It's the finale. What can we do? What if we cooked a pig all day?
And our friend
we
Malay was
woke
like,
up
"Let's
early
get a pig."
and just cooked the whole pig. Malejo, fantastic chef, amazing Grammy award-winning producer, all-around great guy. Darren Lau and myself, we spent all day sous videing. We made all the brine for the pig. We sous videed all day.
Yep.
Then the party's there. We watched the episode, and then at the close of the episode, celebrating the end of Game of Thrones, we run this sword, essentially, to put it on the spit through the pig. And we've been building up to this moment. Truly, the visceral, the sound, the visual of
Yeah.
running it through the pig to then burn it on a fire.
That's when
to
we
crisp
found
it
out
up.
we're all musicians. We're
And
all like,
as soon as it happened, the great regret
the grief.
occurred to all of us. The sound of stabbing
No-
a pig through its
no
entire
mustard?
body. It was too much. All right, real quick, because I know I'm taking too much of your time. I know
it
this is
fell
game
off.
on.
No, you're not taking too much of my time at all. Are you saying it fell off the sword?
No,
No,
man.
it was just really
it
upsetting.
sounded disgusting.
We were like, we are
It
musicians.
sounded so nasty.
isn't
It
supposed
was
to
a
be a
full-on
sound
like a
we
murder
hear.
scene. And then like
Do I have
like an
time
eye
to
popped
tell you a
out.
15-second story?
Please, you can tell me a
So,
100.
so while you were talking about running this sword, and before we were talking about the Bohunka, there are many people, and a lot of these stories are apocryphal, right? They may or may not be true. They're the stuff of legend, but there is a very, and I happen to believe this one, that the root term of the word barbecue comes from the French pirates who cooked food barbe en coeur, in the heart.
Oh,
And it was because they would take animals. They only had long swords, and they would find wild animals on the islands when they came over from France. These buccaneers, also a French word, and they would skewer these animals through the tush and out the mouth, and put them over and turn the sword as a spit. Which makes all the sense in the world, because anyone who's ever taken one of those little wooden skewers
Yep.
and put it through a bunch of beef,
Yeah.
onion, and
Yes.
pepper
Yep.
pieces,
Barbe
and everything
en
sort
coeur.
of turns around.
Barbe en
It's
coeur.
like, yeah, you need a broadsword, barbe en
Wow.
coeur, barbecue, and I think that's the root form.
I believe it.
That's
And God
Me
himself
too.
can tell me that's not real, and I'll still have question marks. That
True.
sounds real to me. All right, we're gonna cut to some questions from fans.
Lightning round.
lightning round.
Lightning round. Here is Just Mavero. Just Mavero. JUSTMEVERO _ on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
She asks, on Wild Game Kitchen, do you honor the indigenous peoples of the land that you visit on Wild Game Kitchen? It felt like an interesting question. I'm not sure if that applies in a real way.
Wherever appropriate, we do. And wherever appropriate, I've been doing it for 30 years. I am thrilled that the rest of the world is catching up. But some people are hired to host a show, and they're an actor, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We need hosts and presenters and stuff like that. Then you have people who actually are actors, like my friend Stanley Tucci, who has a great show on Discovering Italy,
Great
right?
show.
I mean, a
Great
great
show.
show.
Drinking
He
an
happens to
Anonymous
love
Stanley.
Italian food. He's Italian. Just because people know him as an
He's a
actor, don't
zaddy.
know that he was an incredible gourmand. And yes, quite a zaddy. And
Married to Julia Child.
and the but the thing that people forget is that before I ever went out the door to do what became the the pilot, or before that the sizzle reel,
Right.
and before that, I mean, for as long as I can remember, I've been traveling to try to explore culture through food. And in my first book, I wrote about going to the last stop on the subway. If you just go to the big city and eat the big city version of chanfaina, you know, if you have which is a stew made up of innards and parts, it's going to be beautiful and parsley and served on a plate and all the rest of this, and you eat it with a spoon. If you have chanfaina in a jungle market in the central part of Nicaragua, you are going to have a much different experience. And if you're in a tribal jungle market, then you're going to have it with poached iguana eggs in the top, and you have to pay an extra, couple of shekels.
What?
That's what you would do if someone put oatmeal there. But no, you want the iguana eggs. And so the point is, with food, we should never separate the food from the culture that birthed it. And if it goes all the way back to pre-contact and indigenous peoples, we have to honor that. And the first time I ever had armadillo outside of Oaxaca with the Zapotec grandmas who roasted for me in their clay ovens that they just build in the desert, and they're carrying around a bag of armadillos hoping someone shows up and wants to buy one, because that's how they're making their money. You listen to their stories of the importance of the animal and how it fed these people for thousands of years. You then immerse yourself in a process that's been going on since man first crawled and then walked. To ignore that, which so many had done for so long, is to celebrate a bunch of stuff that thankfully today we understand is not worth celebrating. Right. And so to answer her question, yes, of course we do. It is not always applicable, because sometimes I'm just taking out some pheasant and roasting it, and we're not getting it from somewhere. We're not working with someone. We're not celebrating an indigenous pathway. Sure, you could find a connection to it, but it's I might mention it, but everywhere we can, of course, we're doing that.
I love that.
I mean, I've stood for that for 40 years. That's my thing.
Do you see why we love him?
Yeah.
Do you see why we love him? All right, back to this guy. All right, more questions, real quick. I'm going to add, this is some low-hanging fruit real quick. Amy Wing 31 wants to know, what is your all-time favorite food? It feels like a loaded question, but there it is.
Not at all. Muscle. No, it sort of. But if I went back in my life, the last meal in a restaurant I ever had with my father was, we each had a big bowl of mussels. Then we had some pappardelle in a wild boar ragu. And then we had coffee, ice cream for dessert.
Wow.
And one of my editors, when I was reviewing restaurants for the glossy monthly that is the big magazine here in Minnesota, which I did for many years, my editor said, you can't eat mussels anymore. I said, why? He said, every restaurant that you go into, you talk about the mussels. I said, it's my barometer dish.
Yeah.
How you store your mussels. The minute you store them improperly, they start to go bad. You can see the shrinkage around the edge of the shell. You can see their diminished quality inside once they're cooked. You can smell them. You can see if the beards have been pulled out. So I love mussels. So of course I order them all the time, but it's also my barometer dish. It's my canary in the coal mine. Right. And I just assume have a big bowl of mussels than almost any food known.
What's your favorite? Where should we go next time we have a stop in Minneapolis? Where are we going to eat? Other than your house. That's the only.
No, that's it. I agree. That's where we're going. That's a fact.
Yes, and then afterwards we will go. I would probably take you. I just posted about him a half hour ago. One of the greatest human beings in the world is my friend, incredible chef, businessman, partner, dad, brother, husband, son, Gavin Kaysen, and I would probably take you over to one of his restaurants. I think he does incredible food, but we would downstairs past the guitar room is the guest bedroom. That is where you would stay. Yay. There's a fire pit. We sit around there. We play some guitar, and I make you dinner.
Yes, dude.
This makes me so happy. Anyway, booking a show in Minneapolis.
Booking a show in Minneapolis. Well, Varsity Theater,
Can
State
I ask one
Theater.
last question?
Well, now let's hold on. I don't blame God for much. However, I am a man, feet of clay. Every single time we are in the same city
Yeah.
or meant to be,
Yeah.
I'm delayed, you're
Yes.
delayed,
Or a
weather
hurricane.
cancels us,
Yeah.
hurricanes come through.
Yeah.
I was so excited that we were actually going to spend a weekend in a new place. When you were in Minneapolis, I was off shooting, I think Iron Chef.
I think you were
or one of my
landing like
shows.
we're
The
like
next
you were like
day or
I'm
late that
landing
night.
that night.
No,
And we're
late
like, well,
that
we're-
night.
We're
I was
gone.
late. That's
yeah.
exactly right.
We were
That's
just
exactly
supposed to
right.
3 weeks ago, supposed to be at an event together
Ocean City.
in
In
Ocean
Ocean
City,
City.
Maryland, for Ocean's Calling, the premiere of this festival.
Yep.
They had everything
Yep.
happening. It
Ian
was
came
you,
through.
us,
Yep.
and Dave Matthews Band that day, and it got
Well,
canceled because of a
there
hurricane.
were a couple others, but
Yes.
sure, throw that out, Dave. And as I said to Dave that day, well, we're not going to see Amanda and Abner.
Yeah, exactly. And Abner is how you learned everything about cooking. All right, my last question for you.
Yep.
So my mother had a thing that she would say to us as we were growing up, especially when we were in those like early years of like touring and nobody coming to shows and us driving ourselves around in like a Ford Focus.
Not even just growing up, like in our early
Yeah,
30s,
in our-
late 20s, driving to a show in Connecticut from the city.
in our becoming.
In our
Yes,
becoming, it's great.
I actually know your story, so
Yeah. Okay. She would say these are the good old days, and so it's something that we still say. We like look back, but what is a time that you look back on that maybe in the moment, because you've done so much, because you've had such a full time, like you've traveled, you've worked in restaurants, you've written, you've
Few
played
people
disc
I know
golf.
have had the spectrum of life
Right.
that Andrew Zimmern has had.
Of
the
that,
fullness, the full gamut
of that,
life.
is there like a time that you look back on that you just think, man, that was a good time?
Or those were the good old days.
I hope they're yet to come.
Amen.
I hope they're yet
They're-
to come
they're
because
always
I think
coming, I
that
think.
what pushes us. I think
Amen. Yeah.
that's
I
what
agree.
pushes us forward, right? Is, and I don't mean that in like a FOMO way
No,
or
no, not at
or
all,
some
not
other
at all.
weird
No,
thing.
we actually say it in every season. We always in every single season we say these are the good old days, and there's always a part of us that mean it. But there is like one time where we were super broke. Darren actually had to pay our electric bill one time.
Darren, the guy running
and
lights
it
for
was
us,
like
our
stressful.
lights went off when he was
but-
at our house for
But
dinner.
now we look back and we just think, man, those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Like we were broke, we had nothing.
I can
it was
tell
great.
you exactly. I even can go to a specific day that represents it. I had just gotten sober. I had they told me you had to get a 9-to-5 job at this halfway house that I was living in Lower St. Paul, and this is 1992, and I went and I got a job as a dishwasher in a diner, and they were open early in the morning and then closed at like 3-4 in the afternoon. So it was great. I could work a full shift and then take the bus back and be home in time for dinner at the halfway house, which was part of the requirement. Well, no one asks you for your resume when you're a dishwasher, right? So there was a sign in the window. I had no money. So I walked 2.5 hours up to this big street from the halfway house to look for a job. And I did that every day for 3 days. And I finally saw a sign in a window, and I was just going to take whatever job I had to. Otherwise, you get kicked out of the house. So I took a job as a dishwasher, which was great for me because I knew how to run the machine. I knew how to reload the chemicals. I knew how to wash dishes. I could help out chopping vegetables. And there was some, meth head chef guy that had to, he was not a chef, kitchen manager who like flipped the burgers and flipped eggs in the morning or whatever, and tried to steal money from the owner. And it was basically me 6 months prior to me getting this job.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that he didn't show up for work, and the owner was like freaking out, like, "What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And I said,
executive
"Just call."
chef
I said, "Just call the temp agency and get a dishwasher. I'll put out the food today." I mean, it was eggs, and it was a diner, eggs and hamburgers, stuff like that, and all the soups and chili and the other things were all done in big batches, and every day we whisked 500 eggs. So I mean, you had eggs for a day and a half. You were always caught up because you never knew. It was just the way you set up in a diner and a kitchen in terms of the prep work. And I did the shift, and it was the first time in 2 or 3, because I had been homeless for like a year and a half before I sobered up, and I was a complete user of people and taker of things for the 3 years before I got clean. I mean, I was for 10 years, but I mean really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And I went home on the bus, and I felt better than time in my whole life. I felt like I had put in an honest day's work for an honest day's wage. I felt esteemed because I'd done esteemable acts. I felt like I had actually participated in life and I was present. iPhones weren't invented, so it was a little easier. But I was actually present for all of it. And it was one of the best days of my life. It wasn't about money or things or plunder or self or, you know, pleasure. Girls or whatever the other things were that drove me. It was just about showing up, doing, being of service, stepping into the void when asked to, completing a task, going home. And to me, who had never done that his whole life, and I mean, I was I'm not proud of it, but it's what it was. Age 31, finally did that for the first time in his life. Those were the good old days. Best job I ever had.
Cheers to you, to the good old days that have been and are still coming.
We're cheersing the sober guy.
Yeah, we're cheersing.
We love you.
This is juice.
Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been, cut the one, Amy. This is Andrew Zimmern.
Yes.
He's here with us, hanging out with us, and it's an absolute pleasure, sir, to have you with us.
Love you guys.
For being here.
We cannot wait to hang out some more.
Can't wait to be in that guest
room. Together.
We'll do it. Just remember one thing. Tell whoever's responsible for the tour. It may happen this year. It may be. But when you come to Minneapolis, you come in the night before.
Yeah, that's great.
The night before.
There's a day off on one side, one way or the other.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Has to be.
I love that.
I agree.
Has to be.
We're making it happen.
Get back to the game, man. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Make it happen.
Oh, Ashley's watching. Ashley, make it happen.
We love
Make
you.
it happen, Ashley.
We'll see you
Love you guys too.
soon.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my gosh. My heart is so full. I'm sorry. I forgot everybody was still here.
That's what happens when we talk to Andrew.
We told him we would take 15 minutes.
Yeah. Also, a hot take about things. I hate microwaves. And people are like, but how do you make things for kids? And I'm like, there's a stove. And things taste better. So there's my hot take on things that I don't like.
Is anybody even still watching? Like, we've been just doing this forever. I love it.
Babe, can you sing us a song?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing us something?
So Andrew Zimmern, dear friend we just talked to, he is born and raised in New York City, loves where he's from, lives in Minneapolis, and you'll meet few people as proud of Minneapolis as Andrew Zimmern. Here's a song about my hometown. What's it say at the beginning? Oh, restless sleeper. Don't fret. You still need to got it. Oh, that was our first mistake of the night. This is the best one. Oh, restless sleeper. Don't fret, you still need her. It's not your fault, my dear. Marietta, I'll soon forget you. Don't give me grief, you reckless thief. Get out my mind. Marietta, it's clear to see we made home a makeshift throne down on DeVoe Street. And I still miss you sometimes. I still miss you sometimes. Marietta, I got used to you. You weren't that sweet, no beauty queen, but you were mine. Marietta, you hurricane. Promised me nights of moonlit skies, but blew me away. And I still miss you sometimes. I still miss you sometimes. is where the heart is. Please just give back mine. It's not very often, but I still miss you sometimes. Marietta, I'll soon forget you. Oh, there you'll be, still in my dreams until I die. Marietta. Oh, that was fun.
I love when you sing that song. That was a fun song to write.
Yeah, it was.
I
Just
still
stank
love it.
face all day. Oh, Lord.
Stank face. Oh,
Do y'all remember when Andrew Zimmern said he
Yeah.
learned everything he knew about cooking from me?
Cheers. You're gonna tell people that, aren't you?
That's going to be in my
down.
bio. Johnny Swim, comprised of Abner and Amanda Ramirez. Abner taught everything Andrew Zimmern knows about cooking to
All
Andrew
right.
Zimmern.
You want to keep singing
Yes.
so we can get Drew up on here?
Yes, we got Drew coming. Let's go. All right. This is really fun. I really love doing live in the backyard. We have the best guests, man. Andrew Zimmern, come on. And we got Jonathan Grant Berlin here. It's amazing. He's right there. He's working so hard. I used to call him
Oh my
at Sunbears, but he's not at Sunbears as much anymore. He's at Jonathan Grant Berlin with no vowels. So at Jonathan Grant Berlin with no vowels right there. I won't be forgetting the first time I saw you. I still remember that day. I still remember the smile that I gave you and how I took it away. Oh, we were kids, we were careless, reckless with love, couldn't care less. I would have sworn we were falling in love, but they said you dodged one. Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? The bullet or the target? The bullet or the target?
I don't remember the first time we kissed, I just remember what it meant. I don't remember the first time I missed you, I just remember how you left. Oh, we were kids, we were careless, reckless with love, couldn't care less. I could have sworn we were falling in love, they said I dodged one. Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet or the target? Bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Oh, was I the bullet or the target? Help me, baby, I'm falling. If it's on me, then maybe I'm sorry. Love me, hurt me, down in the rubble. Tell me now then, which one's the trouble? Help me, baby, I'm falling. If it's on me, then maybe I'm sorry. Love me, hurt me, down in the rubble. Tell me now then, which one's the trouble? Which one's the trouble? Ooh.
You and me, babe.
Which one's the
Was
trouble?
I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet from the gun? Was I the bullet or the target? Bullet from the gun?
Baby, I'm falling.
Was I the bullet from the gun?
Baby, I'm sorry.
Was I the
Love
bullet
me,
from the
hurt
gun?
me, down in the rubble. Tell me now, which
Bullet or the target? Help me, baby, I'm falling. If it's on me, then maybe I'm sorry. Love me, hurt me, down in the rubble. Tell me now, then which one's the trouble?
help me,
Baby, I'm falling.
it's on me, then
Maybe I'm sorry.
love me, hurt me.
Down in the rubble. Tell me now, which one's the trouble?
Which one's the trouble? I don't remember the first time we kissed, I just remember what it meant. I don't remember the first time I missed you, I just remember that you left.
Woo! That song's so dope. Everything's great. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, this is the most prepared we've ever been for a live from the backyard. And it feels like it. I hope the chats are going great. We miss Justine Brown. I don't know if she's in there. She probably will be. She's psycho. She's on a plane right now.
She's trying to fly in. She's like, I'm going to try to see if I can get back right in time.
Ooh, all right.
She
Drew
did
is
not.
lining up. Do we know, Jonathan, do you have Drew over there? Is he set up in Nashville?
I think he's ready to go.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I remember the song.
For the performance.
So we have the great pleasure of in about a week's time, 2 weeks time, I don't know what it
Yes.
is. About a week's time, we're releasing Goodbye Road number 2, the second version, the second iteration of our collaboration with our dear friend Drew Holcomb. These songs were all written before the pandemic. They were recorded during the pandemic, and now we get to play them live. Still
The
in
first Goodbye
pandemic.
Road happened in like 6 weeks.
But different.
The first Goodbye Road happened in like 6 weeks. We
Yeah.
wrote the songs, recorded them, we were on tour. Like, it just felt like it was bang, bang, bang. It was awesome. Me and Drew had breakfast one morning, and I don't know why you weren't there, but we talked about it. Like, let's do it.
I was
Let's write
getting
some
a
songs.
facial from my dear friend Libby.
Hey, Libby Nevins. And this one was much different. The 6 weeks experience of Goodbye Road 1
Yeah.
turned into the 2.5 year experience of Goodbye Road 2, which I'm sure we all have stories how through this pandemic, things have taken longer than they should have. Goodbye Road 2 is one of them. This song, Drew. Yeah, Drew's ready. All right, let's do it.
He's ready. He's ready.
Hey.
The world is strange. It's always changing. It's hard to call it by a name.
And the sun comes down, it's all around. I can see it with my eyes closed.
What have we got to lose? We'll never get back the time we borrowed. What have we got to lose?
When you're looking back and losing track of everything you've seen and died, you can look ahead and instead put your troubles on the right. What have we got to lose? We'll never get back the time we borrowed. What have we got to lose? I know we can make it till tomorrow. Alright, always think you got it. More time waiting on you. No lie, I'm not wasting it. There's more time, no time. Alright, always think you got it. More time waiting on you. No lie, I'm not wasting it. There's no time.
What have we got to lose? We'll never get back the time we borrowed.
What have we got to lose? I know we can make it till tomorrow. What have we got to lose? Woo!
Let's go!
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Drew, we're going to talk to you in a second, but let's run that next song. Let's run the next one. Get a guitar, though.
Guitar. Yeah.
Get a guitar.
I like seeing Drew without a guitar.
All right,
It's nice.
this one
it's
is
innovative.
it's innovative. We get to see some moves.
You ready?
Salt and Vinny.
I'm ready. I think Drew's... Hold on. Drew's ready. Let's go.
All right.
Ring the bells, this time I mean it. Bid the hatred fare thee well. Give back the pieces of my Jesus. Take your counterfeit to hell.
Bang the drums, this means war, not the kind you're waiting for. We say mercy won't be rationed here. It's what we're fighting for.
All this fair and loving war, then what the hell is loving even for? If we can't sing it loud enough, we'll keep on adding voices up.
Ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells. Move your feet, you tiny people. You've been hiding for so long behind your statues and your steeples. Is that hit too close to home?
I got faith to move a mountain. I will watch that mountain move. It's time for words to fall like thunder. Sound of justice breaking through.
All this fair and loving war, then what the hell is loving even for? The world laughs and the martyrs sing, but love breaks through the Calvary. Oh,
Ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells.
You call me boy instead of son, and I ain't the only one. Was in the throne room of a kingdom where I found that I belong.
Well, I ain't scared to face a fortress. I have seen them fall before. With broken bones you built it. It will crumble board by board.
if all is fair and loving war, then what the hell is loving even for? Hey, if we can't sing it loud enough, let's keep on adding voices up. Oh,
Ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells,
oh,
ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells.
Ring the bells, this time I mean it. Bid the hatred fare thee well. Give back the pieces of my Jesus. Take your
counterfeit to hell.
Yeah! Yeah, Drew!
God, we'll sing the
My
bells.
man! We're singing together, bro. Woo! Oh. Hey, Drew, if you can still hear me, go get set up on Zoom real quick so we can talk to you. Holy moly, I'm happy.
So Goodbye Road number 1, that was a couple years ago, and then Goodbye Road number 2 is coming out in like a week, and we get to be in celebration, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that as soon as Drew gets himself on.
Did you
Zoom.
send
We're
the
like,
second
get
link,
off.
Ames, or do we got to get him on the first link? Copy.
Awesome. So I'm just going to tell you guys about a great investment opportunity. Or should I talk about my distaste of microwaves? You decide which one's more intriguing. I don't like microwaves. I just don't. You need them for popcorn and not even that. You know what I need microwaves for? My neck pillow. Because I'm an old lady who loves... I brought mine. Mine's here at the cabin. If you come stay at this cabin, the Airbnb link is right there in the YouTube. Hi, Drew!
Drew Holcomb! Hold on, can we hear him yet? Yeah, I can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Yes! I hear you
I love,
wonderfully, good
I love
sir.
performing with you even when we're not in the same place.
I love technology.
Technology is great.
It's kind of Hold on, I gotta turn the other thing off. Okay, there you are. I
Yeah, YouTube on still?
have
Still
had
watching
Amanda
it, bro.
still talking in the other thing. Yeah, bro, of course.
Bro!
All right, so we were just
turn
telling
this on.
everybody, we wrote these songs 3 years ago. Amy, do you have a clip of when we wrote the song? This just depicts what life was like when we wrote these
I'm
songs.
seeing a lot of stressed out faces over there in the war
When we
room.
wrote these songs for this
No?
new Goodbye Road, there was hints of like things are getting a little weird out there. There's this like virus, but like I don't know. Everybody says we're probably
What were the-
fine.
Drew, what cities were we in when we wrote these new Goodbye Road
Well,
songs?
Dallas,
So,
and Oklahoma City.
we were Dallas and then Oklahoma City. I'll never forget. I had just put out Into the World, the song, like 6 months earlier, and I was out on the road with y'all, and we were in Abner, you and I were in this big like locker room bathroom,
Yeah.
and we were trying to figure out songs that were 30 seconds of hand washing, and so
Yeah.
you were like, hey, what about your new one? Hey, it's the end of the world. No.
I think we also made up a song called "In the End We All Die Anyway." That was a fun one. Yeah, we
That
had
is not on Goodbye Road 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's
no,
not there.
that's not there. You can't find it there. But it is kind of like I feel like this project is so interesting because of that, because we wrote it in a time where like
they do have clips, by the way, of us writing.
Oh, we
it.
do? Okay.
Do we have it?
Roll that. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say roll that beautiful bean footage, or
It's
am
a
I
commercial,
that's
right?
dating myself?
Go to one.
Look at us. Look at
Yeah,
us. Not
Drew.
a care.
Drew, it's us dancing. I know you shut the YouTubes down. It's a slightly
Wait,
fatter
no, hold on.
Abner.
I can go live.
It's like literally us just dancing and in the tour bus. Like there's no problems in the world. Like what are we doing? We're just having fun on the tour bus.
Oh, Jonathan with short hair.
Just dancing,
Oh, I
being dumb
loved it.
little babies.
Oh, that was
well,
awesome.
also like not that I'm supposed to do this,
Johnny
but like
cut
a
a
little
picture.
a preview lyric of one of the other songs
Yeah.
we have that's coming out next weekend.
That's true.
That I thought was really ironic in the sort of 2020 moment was, there's a line in the song, as you all know because we wrote it together. Screw Armageddon, the dance floor stays
Yeah.
open for me.
Yes, dude.
Screw
And then we were like,
Armageddon, dance
well-
floor stays open for me.
Ah!
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little irresponsible.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah. We're like, we're gonna hold on to this song and release it later.
We'll release it when it's
But yeah,
sentiments
at the
correct.
time
when
it
the
felt
dance
right.
floor can be open.
Yeah.
It did feel right. Yeah.
If the
Yeah,
dance
that
floor
was-
is closed, I'll keep dancing.
What
at
I think
home.
is funny is that we started with that Screw Armageddon, the dance floor stays open for me, and we ended with hard times come again no more. It was like we're gonna balance this thing out, which I think that was your idea to cover that
Yeah.
song, and I think it was the
We
most
had heard-
perfect one.
Yeah, we had heard Ellie and I heard Mavis Staples cover it, and when I came out to when did I come out to LA? It was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a year ago.
maybe even longer, right? Like July a year ago.
Like time.
Yeah, it was like July or August last
I
year.
mean, yeah, this project is like the other one
Forever.
happened in like we wrote and recorded everything in like 2 months.
Yes,
and then
dude.
put it out like 3 months later.
Yes.
And then this one was like, no, this is gonna take like 3.5 years.
Yep.
But I'm just as proud of it as obviously as the
Same.
I'm
other
super
one.
stoked about it coming out and finally being in the
too.
world.
And I think people are going to be really excited. So, Drew, we wanted to take this moment here to all the people watching on YouTube and Instagram to make sure they know that we will be together at celebration in Waco, Texas. Celebrations, just like Costco's.
Are you bringing the kids?
We are bringing 2 of the kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're bringing all 3,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Rivers hasn't quite earned the privilege to come to South.
Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah.
I mean, none of ours have, but we're bringing them anyway. You know?
Oh Lord! At least our boy's the oldest, so he like tries to keep things calm. Our baby girl, she weighs about 6 pounds. She doesn't really. She's a healthy 2-year-old, but she's tiny, right? Paloma. She will throw anything at anyone. At any
Doesn't
moment.
care.
There's no. If you have
Dude,
offended her,
She will grab the
and
nearest
it's like
object and chuck
she's
it at
this
your
little
face.
person that becomes like the most violent, like literally the most dangerous person in the room,
Yeah.
is her.
Well, maybe she and Rivers could get like a big pile of tomatoes,
We just chuck them at each other.
throw them at each other.
Yeah.
And they would have a great time. So maybe we should bring him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Maybe
Bring
they-
'em
you
on.
know.
So we're gonna be in Waco, Texas with Drew. He plays
Yeah.
Friday, we play Saturday, but we will. If you're watching, you know. If not, don't tell anybody. If they're not, don't tell anybody that's not watching. We're gonna show you some of these Goodbye Road 2 songs, Volume 2, on each night, Friday and Saturday in Waco. We're really excited to be there together.
I honestly didn't know that, and I'm very excited. Learn something new. Whee!
I mean, I assumed we were going to do that, but I need to make sure I tell the band, you know.
I have not told my band either.
So
Jonathan,
okay, so apparently
we're playing
Abner
songs
only
together.
told himself this information.
I
and
was
I'm
really
happy
excited
that
about
we're
this
in the
information,
loop.
but we know how to present
Yeah.
it correctly.
We love you,
I
Drew.
just I know enough about you guys to
Yeah.
assume, especially Abner, to assume that we were going to do something like that.
Yeah,
but
that
then
it
we
would
just-
happen.
It would happen. We wouldn't know about it until
we
like
haven't
40
talked
Some-
about it, but that was the
sometimes-
official announcement.
Sometimes people are like, I love how much, like, how you look at Abner on stage, like the way that you look at him. And I'm like, the way that I'm looking at him is like, what you gonna do next?
What is
What
happening?
are we gonna do? I'm like, I do love him, but also I'm scared, and I don't know what's
Holding
going
up
on.
with both hands and both eyes.
Yes.
Drew, I sent you a text last week, and I did not receive a text back, but that's okay. It was a big day. I want to know what it's like, what it felt like as a graduate of the University of Tennessee.
I went to
have
Vanderbilt,
nothing-
so I'm gonna be over here.
I used to lead worship at a youth group in Knoxville. That's my connection to Knoxville, and I've always felt really connected to it, really connected to the school. And I was losing my mind that game. How did it feel for you, sir, 15 years of vengeance built up into this one field goal?
Well, it felt amazing. The most amazing thing about it was, all due respect to the Alabama fans out there, everybody wanted us to win except for them.
100%, dude.
I got more messages about sports fans from sports fans, Auburn fans, Ohio State fans, Notre Dame fans. Everybody's like, "Yeah, way to go! I'm in your corner." It's nice to be the underdog, and we have been like the dead underdog for like 12 years. So now that we actually have a team and are playing, we're actually tomorrow, Ellie and I head to Knoxville. We're the grand marshals of the homecoming parade.
Yay! Congrats!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then
Where's Justine
we're doing
Brown?
a show for the whole university.
Oh my
That's-
goodness.
So
Yes, we'll come.
That's
the energy's
amazing.
gonna be pretty good. I
Yeah,
think.
Dude, that's
That's
insane.
gonna be slightly
How
good.
did it feel? I've talked to a few grads and people that were in athletics there as well. There was a moment that to a lot of them felt not surprising. A game where you had the lead. Sorry, this didn't mean to turn this into a sports podcast. But you had to lead the whole game. Tennessee's got to lead the whole game. They're going. Things start falling apart a little bit. Not really falling apart. Alabama's just catching up. And then the fumble on like the 7-yard line for the scoop score. The overwhelming.
I don't know
Yes,
what
it was
any of those
depressing,
words
but
mean.
it wasn't shocking to a lot of lifelong UT fans. Like, of course.
Okay, so you're right. Except for here's the thing that different. All these group texts I'm on from fellow alumni and friends. Usually when that happens, which we've been doing that for years, it's like, oh, here we go. But instead, everybody was like, okay, we gotta shake it off.
Let's go.
Score, stop, score, and we win the game.
Let's
And that's
go.
what
And that's what happened. That's what happened. Somebody had a
So,
huge fan pushing the ball to the right for them.
Hard times come again.
Times come again, no more.
Yo, I'm so excited for you guys to
Yay,
hear
Drew,
this
we love
Goodbye
you.
Road 2
Love y'all
EP
too.
that's coming out.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
With the
I
Drew
know it's
Holcomb.
late for you.
Oh, Drew, real quick. I know it's late. Sorry. There was you had a crazy moment happening in Houston. We won't talk about it long, but you sent me the audio of your response to this heckler in the crowd. And I've had moments where I've had to have my wife. Where I didn't have to, but she did. She grabs me, stops me from talking. Where I'm so frustrated, so angry that I don't know how to put any useful words together. You had a heckler. I believe it was in Texas somewhere. And you posted a thing talking about kind of why you said what you said and whatever. So I thought, man, you must have really just been off the rails. Like you had your Ryan Adams moment. You like, what happened? And then I heard the actual audio of what you said to this gentleman.
And we were crying. We were like,
And it was so moving. And yes, it started off with frustration, but then you defended your frustration. You justified your position. And it was so powerful. There was, and I'm not going to do it justice, Drew, and I'm sure you don't remember it word for word either. But you talk about the world that we live in today, how much time we spend disagreeing with each other, how much time we spend being angry at each other, how much time we find not in a safe space. And here we are around music. We've been able to find strangers that can feel like family. We've been able to find people that we've never seen before and smile right in their face, look right into people's faces we've never met before and sing the same song together. And it didn't feel like something you need to apologize for. It felt like something that was a triumph because of how you said it. So I just wanted to say, man, from one person on stage with a microphone to another, I was very, very moved by that moment. And for what it's worth, I'm really proud of you.
Well, thanks, man. That means a lot. It was a lot of years of frustration around a particular type of heckling. Since Ellie left the band 10 years ago, and so I think in general I love the magic that's happening in the room, just like you guys. I think that's part of the reason we've been sort of connected at the heart for many years now. Is that this music is magic. It brings people together, and I had to fight for that in that moment because it felt like somebody was sort of tearing that down.
good for you.
And
Good for you, man.
And especially for my band, like we work hard to do this together and have for a long time, and they're a big part of what I do. And it was sweet, but I definitely said some words on stage I've never said before. So,
And I'm trying not to feel justified using those same words.
Our kids
No.
may be watching.
We love
Yeah,
you,
that's
baby.
right. There's kids watching, so
That's right.
We love you.
I love
We're
you guys.
so proud of you.
Yeah.
We love you, man. Can't wait to make some
Y'all
music
too.
together in
We'll
Texas.
see you in
Texas,
a couple
no less.
days.
We'll
Yeah,
see you
see
next
you very
week,
soon.
bro. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
next
it's
week.
Next
Yay.
week. I'm not
All right,
ready.
love you.
I gotta get ready. Drew,
Love
thank you for
y'all
your time.
too.
Thanks for playing some songs with us. We love you so much, my man. Our
See you next
friend,
week.
our family, Drew Holcomb, ladies and gentlemen. Clap, clap, clap in the
Clap,
chats.
clap, clap in
Clap,
the chats.
clap, clap. Love you, bro.
We love you.
We love you.
Everybody saying they love you in the room, but you can't hear it.
We love you so much.
Oh, Lord. I'm gonna move this thing. Babe, keep talking to the humans.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking to the humans and also. Oh, that was a microphone.
Oh, Lord. All right, we got songs up. Let's keep them going. We got a couple songs left. Amanda wanted to, at this moment,
what did I
oh,
wanna
we
do?
wanted to, there's a couple things we're going to show. We're going to cut videos. Do you want to do the QVC thing?
We can.
We
Why
always
not?
do the QVC thing. We got
Yeah.
the QVC, we got the sweet Airbnb video.
So. All right, they're talking over there, and I'm not good at talking over here while they talk over there because I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
just checking on the chats real quick.
So, for those of you who are faithfully staying with us tonight, we have a few songs left. But before we do that, we put a bunch of merch up for sale today. Blood, Sweat, and Tears was a big chunk of that. That's all stuff that we make in our backyard that we put our hands to ourselves. We're super proud of. There was a denim Dickies jacket. It's called the Chore Coat, which I think is great. It's also fully lined with like flannel, so it's the warmest thing you've ever had. And then the coat Abner's wearing, and a bowling T-shirt. If you bought any of those things, you get entered in to win 2 nights in this here Airbnb. Hopefully you can make it. Hopefully flights aren't too bad and all that kind of stuff, because we will not be providing the flights for that. We will just be providing the stay. So you're gonna have to get yourself here. But each item that you purchase counts as another entry. So if you bought 2 things, you'll be entered twice. And so the plan is to sell out and let everybody get entered in, and then we're gonna announce it hopefully over the weekend.
Well, the store's only open until Saturday.
So,
So Saturday night, we're going to announce the winner. Somebody gets to stay here for 2 nights. We have some footage of this here house. It's 5 bedrooms, sleeps 10. We like it a lot. We're going to cut straight to that, yes? We're going to go in, just roll that beautiful bean
That's
footage.
all we can say today. I think every time. Also, a hiking trail that goes in the back, like literally straight to Narnia. So if you're into that, that's cool too. But there are some children that live next door that think that our backyard is their fort. Like some trees in our backyard, and they keep yelling at us every time we're here. They're like, "You're in our fort," and we're like, "We kind of own this. This is like not your fort, actually." But they are angry children, so. But don't let that stop you from coming. Yeah. Anyway, the Airbnb link is posted, and when we're not here, you can be.
Take these out. Ooh.
You're cool and sweet, just like ice cream. With eyes so big, I'd hoped you'd see. You begged for grace and left no grace for me. You traded places with the sun, made me orbit around your love with no regard or notice of my world below you burning up. So don't you come any closer. Don't you come any closer. Mm. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, I close my eyes, I dream today. I lust for all those memories, but ashes to ashes, and I lay to rest those better days. You wash your hands all clean of me, but look, there's blood left on your sleeve. Now everywhere you'll ever be, at least you will remember me. But don't you come any closer. Don't you come any closer. No, don't you come any closer. Don't you come any closer. Oh, help me, please. I'm ruined by your love. The damage has been done. And oh, shame on me. I took you at your word. Is that really all it's worth? Don't you come any closer. Don't you come any closer. No, don't you come any closer. Don't you come any closer. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, I love that song.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you,
We've
Jonathan.
been doing a lot of talking this evening. We have a few songs left. We're just gonna play them.
Yeah.
Hope that's all right. Maybe I'll do this. I know Drew's not watching anymore, but this is one of my favorite songs. And Drew, who we just talked to, happened to be the guy that wrote it. When I was a boy, I didn't know nothing, didn't have a care in the world. I had innocence and ignorance, things I wish I still did not know. But no matter how far these songs take me, my dreams come true or the heartaches break me. No matter where I make my bed, I long for you. Tennessee, Tennessee, I was born here and raised here, and I'll make my grave here's home. Tennessee, Tennessee, I'm the third born of my mother and father. He's a lion-hearted man, she's a Jesus-loving woman. No matter how far I roam, I always belong to Tennessee, Tennessee. I was born here and raised here, and I'll make my grave here's home. Tennessee. It's not just geography, it's a part of me, the air I breathe. And we got a history, so the blood runs through. Tennessee, Tennessee, I was born here and raised here, and I'll make my grave here's home. Tennessee,
We don't need calligraphy to write a fancy story. Kings and queens would turn to thieves to find what we've been holding. You and me, we can take the world.
Sweethearts give sweet compliments, but our love goes without saying. Though you make it hard not to spill my heart every time those hips go swaying. You and me, we could take the world.
'Cause they can write stories and they can sing songs, but they don't make fairy tales sweeter than ours. They can climb mountains high into the sky, oh, but they can't take the world. Oh, no, like we can take the world, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ain't it just like love to find us? Ain't it just like love? Ain't it just like love to find us? Oh, ain't it just like love?
'Cause they can write stories and they can sing songs, but they don't make fairy tales much sweeter than ours.
They can climb mountains high into the sky, but they can't take the world.
Like we can take the world, yeah.
La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Jonathan, I'm gonna pull this. I'm not gonna pull it yet.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. We are coming to a town near you, probably. Unless you're in Texas
Everybody
or
get in
Florida.
here.
Or,
Amy, get in here. Jonathan, get in
we're
here. You got
coming
credits?
to you for Christmas tour, so we hope to see you. Yeah, thank you for being with us tonight.
Do we want to run credits before we run the Christmas tour thing, or run Christmas tour thing and then credits? Run the Christmas
Should have
tour
talked
thing.
about this before.
Run that beautiful bean footage we did. I
Shoulda-
messed up. Abner messed up.
We did talk about this before, actually, so...
We got a lot of merch. We got a lot of good things. Go by Johnnyswim.com. We love y'all. Amy, show them that Christmas tour promo. And we'll come back. We got this merch here. Thank you very much to our special guest, Andrew Zimmern and Drew Holcomb. Jonathan, get in here, man. Come see yourself on TV.
Look at the lining of this beautiful
Stage left. Y'all, thank you. Thank y'all for tuning in. For those of you that watched the whole thing, you're insane and we love you. Jonathan Grant Berlin, Amy Waters, Darren Lau. We're gonna clean this living room up first, and then we're gonna make burgies. Pop my eyes out for you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching another Live from the Backyard. Oh, my butt hurts.